Well, as we breathe the freshness of the air around this place, we are very happy to see you join us at this moment on Capital Sports from the Unity Station, NT Channel 5 Abuja. And I know you're fine out there. And to our enthusiastic sports fans across the nation's capital and environs, we say welcome to another episode of Capital Sports, where you get the latest and hottest plus analysis and also views and perspective to some of these topical issues in sports. And as usual, we usually bring someone here whom we know is also very good talking about giving us analysis and perspective to some of these issues. And today will not be different on the program. You're welcome to Capital Sports. I remain Abdullah Jia on this seat here, urging you to sit back while we bring to you some of these happenings with fresh analysis on them. Well, join us again. Shortly, we'll be back. Thank you for rejoining us. And as usual, Capital Sports is usually concerned about your feedback and also how you feel talking about some of this interesting sport. It's not about we telling you everything, but you also telling us how you feel about some of this development, particularly talking about our own very sports here at home. And we're happy to tell you that, the Olympics have, come and gone. But currently, our junior athletes are doing us proud because, yes, in 13 years, they have come to say, yes, we must taste that gold again. In faraway Kenya, they just recorded their first gold, and they were very, very happy with them. On that note, I will want to, at this moment, introduce my guest here, my friend, my brother, one man that loves talking sports, who I say sports run is in his DNA. Or Tolulokwe Oguntumehi, we're happy to have you join us on Capital Sports once again. We know you've been here several times.
Yeah, it's so good to be here. Talking sports is the job, and we'll try to do it as the way we really think it should be done. And so happy when we're talking about this game that we're passionate about. Well,
our tradition here is to always go have a taste and feel of our sports tidbit. But for now, we'll be keeping it on hold first. Let's just get to discuss some of these issues that we feel very germane before sports tidbits will be ready for us. Tolu was very happy yesterday when I learned that our junior athletes are doing us proud in the World Under-20 Championship in faraway Kenya.
It's so good to have a breath of fresh air, especially when we take a look at what transpired at the Olympics, where a lot of expectations, especially were quite high, and a lot of us expected us to be able to break the jinx of not winning more than 2 gold medals at the Olympics, going back to the Atlanta 1996, and the expectation and also the effort being put in by the Honorable Minister and the manner which he went about. A lot of us thought that probably this might be the year we'll surely be able to surpass the 1996 feat. Unfortunately, that didn't come to be, though the performance was better than what we had in 2012 and 2016, but we want something more than that. So now having this performance going on right now at the World Athletics Championship, where we have over 200 countries participating, and that's quite massive, and also giving us the insight of what we should expect in like 5-6 years to come, because the crop of athletes that are currently participating in it are something that we can look forward to, because we've seen a lot of graduation from athletes who represented Nigeria at the youth competition, now going on to represent that in major competition, and that's the happiness we're having. We started by winning that gold medal in the 4x400 mixed relay, which is really impressive, and we're also looking at what's going to happen in 100 meters. We also have a chance of winning medal and a couple of other events there, and that gladdens our hearts.
Okay, well, Tolu, let us just wait a little. Let's whet our appetite with what Bade Adeleye has for us on the usual sports tidbits, which I know you'll also be interested in watching. Let's take a look.
Hello again, it's good to be back to to take you on a quick ride round the world of sports in 240 seconds. President of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, Tinubu Kokowa, says Nigerians can expect more medals from the Nigerian junior athletes who are competing for honors at the ongoing World Junior Athletics Championships in Nairobi, Kenya, after Team Nigeria picked her first gold medal in the 4x400 meters mixed relay on Wednesday. Okowa affirms that the athletes have been adequately prepared, and he believes that the contingent will give Nigeria more medals at the junior meets, together with the opportunity to see a number of those who could very well be on the radar for the next Olympics in Paris come 2024. The Nigeria Basketball Federation has revealed that Coach Alex Nwora remains an integral part of the senior men's national basketball team's technical setup, while shedding light on the recent rumors about the resignation of Coach Nwora as the associate coach of the D Tigers after the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo. NBBF caretaker chairman Musa Kida insists Nwora is still with the team, but on a touch-and-go basis due to his club engagement. Super Eagles technical advisor Gilbert Ross says his team will be ready to fight against every opponent in the Africa Cup of Nations and not just Egypt. The 2013 African champions have been drawn in Group D of AFCON 2021 alongside record winners Egypt, Sudan, Guinea-Bissau, with many tipping Nigeria and Egypt to make it out of the group. But Roy insists he expects a tough challenge from Sudan and Guinea-Bissau as there are no pushovers. Arsenal have agreed a deal in principle with Sheffield United for goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale worth an initial £24 million. The fee could rise by another £6 million in add-ons, depending on whether Ramsdale becomes the number one at Emirates Stadium. The Gunners had earlier sealed a deal with Real Madrid for attacking midfielder Martin Odegaard. The Norway international joins for an initial £30 million fee plus bonuses. Romelu Lukaku says he has matured as a player as he prepares for his Chelsea return. Lukaku spent 3 years at the club between 2011 and 2014 before spells at Everton, Manchester United and Inter Milan. The Blues re-signed him from Inter in a club record £97.5 million deal last week, and the Belgian international says is fit to face Arsenal on Sunday, having done a full pre-season with the Italian champions. Italy midfielder Manuel Locatelli has joined Juventus on a 2-year loan from Sassuolo with an obligation to buy in 2023. Locatelli was part of the Italy squad that won Euro 2020 last month, scoring twice in 5 games and coming on as a late substitute in the final. The deal will become a permanent transfer in June 2023 for a further 3 years with a fee of up to £32 million agreed. Naomi Osaka says she felt ungrateful at some points during the last year for being unable to appreciate her success. The world number 2 was speaking after beating American teenager Coco Gauff at the Cincinnati Open on Wednesday. She also discussed her reasons for withdrawing from the French Open in May, saying the COVID-19 pandemic could have been a factor in her mental health issues, and says recent world events have given her a fresh perspective. And that were all in sports tidbits for this week. Do enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you very much, the vintage Badi Adele, always giving us hot and very fresh as they happen. Well, Tolu, before we went for the sports tidbits, you were making a very good point, but I wouldn't want us to waste much time because I know more medals will be coming for us. I think this is beginning to, restore hope in Nigerian sports fans, because our performance was averagely, I think, not too good at the just concluded Tokyo Olympics. So I think this one is beginning to give us hope. More so when I learned we're also making, headway in javelin too.
Yeah. So it's really massive. It's a breath of fresh air, like I said earlier on. The fact that we're able to put the young athletes can really come to the party after the what transpired at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, where a lot of people never expected more, but we failed to deliver. But right now, I think we have something to build on. Nigeria can become a powerhouse when it comes to athletics. We used to be a very strong force in Africa. At a point in time, we lost our way when we have the likes of Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, and also not forgetting South Africa catching up with us. It all boils down to our failure to invest in our programs, in our youth, and also other areas that we needed to do. But hopefully, with the passion being exhibited by the Minister of Youth and Sport, and also with the way things are going right now, there's a possibility that there's a future for us in the world of athletics. We have talented athletes, talented young people who really want to take the game to the next. But we just need to have that enabling environment to think that they can be able to make something out of their life. Because right now, everybody's thinking about what happens. We've seen people in the past who at one point the other represented this country and never be able to make ends meet. And they are seeing other young guys who are making so much money, especially with the startup stuff happening all over the place. They are making millions of naira, coming up with different innovation and stuff like that. So they are also thinking, why should I go into athletics? Why should I go into sport when I can still make good money and doing something else? So we need to create that enabling environment that there's future for you in sport if you're able to put in the needed dedication. And I think that's the way to go. That's the way to go, and that's the message this current crop of athletes are sending right in Nairobi, Kenya. And hopefully, we can give them that needed support they need to take it to the next level.
So another thing, I think, just for like what you said, talking about the sports ministry, which is like the mother of all sports federation, is saying, I think they have this program of adopt an athlete, which I think is another way of also bringing private investors and also private individuals to say, well, governments can't do it alone. It is our country, and we must continue to grow these sports together. And I think that is beginning to yield results somehow, but I think we're still expecting more to come out from such engagement. But let's quickly leave that issue and then go to the Nigerian Basketball Federation, which I think this is high time we began to put some of these issues of controversy behind and focus on the goal, which is always to win, because an average Nigerian is a football is a sports fan, and he doesn't want anything less than just victory and trophies.
Yeah, exactly. But it's also important that we do the needful. We know that it has not been all that easy. Talking about basketball at the local front, the Premier League couldn't hold for almost 3 or 4 years. The federation ran their course, and right now a lot of people are asking questions because we also want to grow the game. And fine, we have a couple of players outside the shores of Nigeria, players born outside the shores of Nigeria, who can easily fall back on. But we must also realize that we're a country of over 200 million people. We have over 60% of that population are most of all within the youth trade. Then the question you need to ask, if we don't invest at the local front, it becomes difficult for us to be able to gainfully engage these young people. And that's why it's important too that every football administrator invests inward, invest in our sports development, so more youth can be able to take up the game and be able to get gainfully engaged. We've been talking about, we know what transpired some few months back, talking about last year SARS projects and stuff like that. Now we have government is also realizing that the youth must be gainfully engaged, and sports is a tool that we can use to achieve that. And that's why it's so important too that we invest. The Basketball Federation must also look at how they ensure that the Premier League run its course and other leagues across different parts of Nigeria continues to hold for us to be able to move forward. So we can be able to continue to replenish the bulk of athletes that we keep producing, and new ones can come up.
Thank you very much, Tolu. Don't forget, you're still watching Capital Sports, reaching you live from the studio of NT Channel 5 Abuja, where you get it hot and fresh. And at this juncture, I want to tell you that you can join the conversation by dialing the number on your screen, and also, if possible, send us a message on our WhatsApp line, which will also be displayed on the screen, so that we'll be able to get to know what you're saying and how you feel about some of these sports team issues and developments development, particularly those ones that affect us back home here in Nigeria. Well, to look quickly, I think I'm interested in this when Ganotro talking about the grouping that was just done on Tuesday. And a lot of Nigerians have continued to drop their own reaction to say, well, is a fair group, is an easy group. But there is saying that there is no minnows in football. Sudan can also, spark surprises. Guinea-Bissau, we know they're very good. You remember players you begin to hear of the Bangura and their likes. Those ones too can also cause you trouble.
Yeah, we are saying that because we failed to put our house in order. That's why we find ourselves in this kind of situation. When we look at the population of Nigeria, and the number one sport in Nigeria is football. So what's stopping us from continuing to perform at the topmost level? In the United States, the number one sport is basketball.
Sorry, please. I think Teva will begin to take some calls to see how some of our callers also want to be part of this discussion. Sorry, please. Okay, let's continue before we get another caller.
In the United States of America, basketball is number one sport. And when it comes to the world international basketball, you see United States dominating, not just in North America, across different parts of the world. We saw what they did at the last Olympic. Initially, they started at the beginning in preparation, but the tournament, they find their bearing and they were able to get the job. That's the same thing supposed to be in Nigeria at African level, but we fail to invest we are supposed to do, and that's why we are not. We keep talking about.
Okay, hello. Sorry, please. Hello. Good afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon. Quickly, your name and where you're calling from. Hello. Good afternoon, please. Your name. Okay, please, your contribution, please, or you have an observation.
Okay, Nigeria will be meeting with which country?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Nigeria will be meeting which country?
Is it on the Africa Cup of Nations grouping?
Yes.
We have Egypt, we have Sudan, and Guinea-Bissau in that Group D.
Okay, that's what I want to.
All right, thank you for joining us.
Okay, thank you. I wish Nigeria good luck.
All right, thank you. We're praying for them too. All right, Tolu.
So just as I was saying, so because we failed to do what we're supposed to do, that we are not keep saying there's no millions in Africa in football anymore, because we are not investing. We are looking at the crop of the Super Eagles players right now. The bulk of the players were born abroad. Then what happens to what's happening on the local front? The Nigerian Professional Football League has been going through one sad story or the other. Now, for the last 2 years or 3 years, we failed to end the league, except this season that the league is eventually coming to an end. And we've not really been creating the enabling environment for these athletes, salary not being paid. So the motivation is quite low. And we supposed see, when you compare us to other African countries, we are supposed to know that we're supposed to continue to invest in this thing. But we are not doing that. That's why we keep talking about countries like Guinea-Bissau coming to upset us. No matter how big, no matter how massive Guinea-Bissau must be, no matter the level of development, if we have done the what we are supposed to do, we'll still be saying, we're not supposed to be saying there are no millions in African football. But because of where we are right now, and especially we have a coach who does not even have faith in himself, because when he gets to a competition, winning a bronze medal at the Nations Cup is massive for him. But for us as a Nigerian, it's not massive for us. We've won the bronze tournament several times. We want to win the gold, but we should be winning the gold, because like we say, we are giants of Africa. But are we also showing that we also, the caliber of coach we have?
Sorry, I have our second caller, please. Let's get to hear what this person has to say. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Sunday.
So from where are you calling us from, Sunday?
I'm calling you from Gwarinpa, Abuja. Yeah.
Okay, quickly, please.
Yeah, I wish Nigeria well, but they need to sit up, because the way Nigeria are playing this time around, I think is not much encouraged. They need more effort. At least they need to improve in their work. At least let them talk to the coach too as well.
Okay,
because
Sunday.
Our players, at least we are giants of Africa, but the way our Nigerians are playing the international now is not encouraged, most especially African country, because African country, there's no in African country at least supposed to win Nigeria in the test of football.
Okay.
We need more work. At least let them talk to our boys.
All right, thank you.
That's what the contribution I have.
Thank you, Sunday, for passionately dropping your point, and we believe those at the helm of affairs will do their best to ensure that Super Eagles come back to that first position in Africa and also go conquer the world. Thank you very much. All right, Tolu.
So, like I was saying, so because we failed to do what we were supposed to, that's why we keep struggling at the African Cup of Nations. A lot of questions have been raised about the capability of the coach that we have right now. But despite that, he's still in it's stadio. This is the coach that was celebrating the bronze medal. A lot of us were wondering, why on earth could you be celebrating
Please,
the bronze
sorry
medal?
again, I have to put you on hold. Okay, hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, your name quickly, please.
I am Harry from Abuja.
Okay, welcome, Mary.
Yes.
Yes, your contribution, or you want to make an observation?
I want to talk about the coach, sir.
Okay, please, you have just less than 30 seconds to drop your point.
All right, one thing I don't really like about what the coach does is he looks down on himself, number one. He also looks down on the player. For instance, this group is not too tall for a coach to have been saying before the competition that the group is a top group.
Wow. Okay.
So we need to, at least a coach like that, give courage to the player, then give us hope that we can at least go elsewhere as far as this competition is concerned. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Harry. Okay, now let's begin to look at how college rap, because I think my directors begin to give me signal. Now, to look like you were saying, I think talking about no minus, buttress, since the fact that a country like South Africa will be missing in action come Cameroon 2022, but Comoros are coming to the Nations Cup for the first time. That goes to tell you how they are not sleeping too, and they also want to come to the party.
A lot of things must work together for you to be able to deliver. Comoros may not really surprise us at the Nations Cup. They are not going to win the Nations Cup. But a point has been made is fact that they are able to qualify for the Nations Cup.
Sure.
But South Africa have invested so much in their football. A couple of players are coming up through South Africa. Unfortunately, they will not be able to get it in terms of manager that can be able to put those resources together and deliver. But in the case of Nigeria, nothing has been happening on the home front. We have not really been investing at the home front level. But we've been relying on the bulk of players born abroad to come and play for Nigeria. But the question is, how long will that last? And at the point in time, some of these players will start complaining about playing for this country. And for the first time in the history of Nigeria, we have a conglomeration of players spread across different parts of the world who are playing for top clubs. At no point in time, a coach should be giving us the skills, because like the last skills the coach gave us last time, that we don't have top players like Riyad Mahrez of this world, some Fegoli of this world. That's why we lost against Nigeria. We have Osimhen of this world playing for top. We have Wilfred Ndidi, we have Kelechi Iheanacho, we have Alex Iwobi. They are playing for top clubs across. We don't need to have a big players playing somewhere before we can win a tournament. It's not star that win tournament. It's having a gang of boys who are committed to a particular cause, and the job of the coach to be able to make that happen. If he has failed to do that, then the questions must be asked. A lot of us are not satisfied, but this may be his last chance of convincing us that he has what it takes to lead the Super Eagles to the promised land. This is the biggest national team Geneto has ever handled. Can he be able to deliver when the push comes to shove? That's the question a lot of us will definitely want to see at this Nations Cup coming up in Cameroon.
Thank you very much, Tolu. Well, you're also passionate about dropping the points, particularly when it comes to the issue of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, which I believe majority of those watching us also are not happy with the development of things, even though the argument has always divided us as to whether Ganotro has done well or not, and also whether he has been able to build a team that will take us to the promised land. But only time will tell, like you say. Let's quickly just look at Arsenal also trying to bring in a goalkeeper. Will that solve Arsenal's problem? Let's try to juxtapose it quickly because of time with Locatelli joining Juventus. I think it's a good one for him.
It shows that Arsenal does not have the commanding power they used to have way back in the 90s and the 2000s in European Union. If somebody like Locatelli decides to stay put, fine, Juventus is a big club, talking about the old lady, but he decided to stay put in Italy instead of going outside. It shows the commanding power is no longer there. The fact that Arsenal would also not be playing the Champions League or Europa League is another big question right there. And also looking at the crop of players Arsenal have signed, is a lot of questions. These are paperweight players, not the kind of players that you think after that disastrous performance last season, they want to bring in the players. A player like Locatelli would have given them something extra. At the point in time, they were linked with Lautaro Martinez, but that will not get to see the light of the day. And the experienced players have not living up to expectation. Aubameyang has not been firing on all cylinders, and also not forgetting Lacazette also. But we hope that they can really be able to. But goalkeeping position, fine, they do have some problems right there. Probably they may be. But a lot of questions we will definitely be asking. when it comes to signing the central defender, joining them this season. We felt they have capable, and they should have thought went for a midfielder, a playmaker or a striker, but they failed to do that, and they are suffering. They only have one playmaker right now, Emil Smith Rowe, who is still a young lad, who may not be able to play all the 38 matches needed at the end of the season. So they need to find a playmaker. That's why they are looking for the guy. Let's hope that they can be able to get that, but they seem not to have been able to find their bearing. But we wish them all the best this season.
Thank you very much, Toluloko Guntimehin, for your perspective and analysis, which I think are very, very germane to some of these issues. I wish Arsenal will involve you in some of their decisions, because I think they need that powerful advice as to what to do to get back to their feet and play like the Arsenal we used to know. I know their fans are not happy, but what do? You keep supporting your team. I know Chelsea fans, Manchester United fans are happy after winning their opening matches. But well, this is the much time would have permitted us to relate to you today on Capital Sports. I want to thank Tolu for coming once more. Thank you very much for joining us, and also urge you to join us same time, same station next week. Capital Sports is the best place to be, anytime, anywhere. I remain yours, Abdullahi Ajia, and want to thank our director and all those that have contributed to the success of this program today. Bye for now.